Hello and welcome to Chicago Bears Huddle podcast, your UK take on all things Chicago Bears, guys. I'm your host, Owen James, and this is Tuesday, the 20th of May, guys, and we bring you some fantastic news for the Bears this afternoon, this evening, this morning. Obviously, it's morning over there in Chicago, as you guys are 6 hours behind us. Obviously, doesn't mean we know what happens 6 hours into the future, just to clarify for some people. It is actually 2:05 here in the UK. Right, so fantastic news. This has been put out by Ian Rappaport of the Rap on X on the Rap Sheet, which I always thought was a conviction, but there you go. Adam Schefter and Tom Pelissero, so three exceptionally reliable sources of information. You know, if Rap Sheet, if Pelissero, and if Schefter are tweeting it, it's got to be true. So what is it that is the situation? Well, Joe Thuney, the guard that we traded for from the Kansas City Chiefs, has signed a 2-year extension with the Bears. That means he's got a 3-year deal. Which is fantastic news for the Bears to keep together this offensive line that we have built this offseason. Well, Ryan Poles has built this offseason, obviously with the acquisitions of Drew Dahlman, Joe Thuney, and Jonah Jackson to add to Darnell Wright. Obviously, as well, the drafting of Ozzy Trapillo as well to add more quality to the offensive line, meaning we've got a three-way competition for that left tackle spot with Trapillo, Kieran Amagaji and Braxton Jones as well once he is fit. But the news that Thuney has signed a 2-year extension is excellent news. It was always hoped, I think, as Ryan Poles said, that Thuney could be tied down to an extension, that he could be here in Chicago for longer than just this one single season. The deal is worth $35 million, with $33.5 million guaranteed. It is around about $17.5 million a season for Thuney. Tom Pelissero added to his tweet saying that Joe Thuney, who will turn 33 this season, and if he plays out the whole of this deal, which, there's nothing to suggest that he won't, given the fact that Joe Thuney, to quote that old saying, your best ability is your availability, someone who's only missed, I think it's 2 games in his entire career, he will have made more cash than any guard in NFL history. This, remember, is a 4-time Super Bowl champion who has worked with Tom Brady, who's worked with Patrick Mahomes, who's worked with Bill Belichick, who's worked with Andy Reid. This guy has an excellent back history. Hopefully all that experience is something that he will bring to the Bears this year. Ryan Poles has done a brilliant job putting the O-line together, which obviously will hopefully protect Caleb Williams a whole lot more than last year's O-line did, where Caleb was constantly running for his life and was sacked over 60 times, which is never good when your rookie quarterback spends the majority of his time on his back. How can he develop? How can he improve? How can he improve that timing and that passing if he is constantly having to run round and worry about getting smashed? It's great. It's a great deal. Not only does the fact that Thuney is there and will obviously be that kind of lockdown left guard for the next few seasons, but it also means that that the Bears have a mentor there, someone who can help bring along the likes of Ozzy Trapillo, Kieran Amagaji, Braxton Jones, can help them to develop. I think more so Trapillo. Now, look, at the moment, as Coach Ben Johnson said, there is no depth chart. There is no indications as to who will start where. But I think, looking at what they're doing, looking at the sounds and the noises coming out of the Bears at this moment in time, the hope, I think, very much is that Ozzy Trapillo will be the starting left tackle come the start of the season, meaning we have an offensive line of Trapillo, Thuney, Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, and Darnell Wright. Certainly having Joe Thuney inside him will help Ozzy Trapillo, the mountain of a man, help him to develop and improve further. Having someone like that who has veteran experience, veteran presence to talk you through games, to bring you through games, I think will certainly aid the development of Ozzy Trapillo, and getting him tied down to this 2-year extension is absolutely brilliant news for the Bears. And you've got to kind of really commend Ryan Poles for the work that he's done over this offseason. Poles often gets a lot of criticism, sometimes very unfair. But I think, in terms of building this O-line, extending Thuney, he has done an absolutely solid job. Adding obviously to the extension, he signed for Kyler Gordon. Again, another excellent deal that he did. This is a brilliant deal for the Bears. Absolutely brilliant. It gives us one of the best offensive lines in the NFC and certainly in the whole of the NFL going forward. Joe Thuney, congratulations on your new deal. I think this is a brilliant move by Ryan Poles. And like I said, this will give us an opportunity not only to protect Caleb Williams, to allow Caleb to go out there and create more time for him to pass, to use those weapons that he's got this season, but hopefully also bring more out of DeAndre Swift, Roshan, and of course new draftee Carl Monangai as well. Get the running game going to more than it was last year. You've got to hope that DeAndre Swift behind a better O-line will develop and do even better this year. Certainly that one great year that he did have, he had a good offensive line to run behind. So you've got to hope that having this excellent offensive line with the newly signed Joe Thuney will help him as well. Guys, great news certainly for the Bears. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share and subscribe. And remember, let's bear down. Catch you later, Chicago.